Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about what I consider a realistic plant-based message. Just a few thoughts from my perspective on this whole food plant-based lifestyle, whether you're doing raw to 4, starch solution, fully raw or whatever. And I do similar videos like this, so if come back again. I'm going to go ahead and ask now, hit that subscribe button over there, click on the little bell and check send notifications. I'm going to do that early in the video today. Anyhow, I've just been out in the sun, and you know what, it's funny how the lighting is. You can do some videos and I look like I've got a lot of sun and others where I don't. But anyhow, that's not really the purpose of why I get in the sun. I get in the sun for my vitamin D, but I was out in the sun again today, 4th day in a row, feeling so good. And I was listening to some YouTube and catching up on people. And like I say, I'm kind of struggling to find videos to watch these days. So I was catching up on some of Jay, Plant-Based Athletes videos. And as always, I'll pop it, when I'm listening out there and I can't find something else, I'll always pop in a Dr. Greger talk or, similar type people. And it really got me thinking. One that not any one particular one that Jay did, but he's kind of a no bullshit guy. We do it differently. He eats cooked food. I don't, not all that much, but who knows? Who knows? If I was rolling jujitsu on a regular basis, I mean, this guy's crazy active. But anyhow, that's not the point today. The point today I want to get into is which was part of the title, a realistic plant-based message. And this is something that I wish people that were a little like other raw vegans on YouTube and people that are a little bit smarter than me and people that have a little bit more retention and can come from a science standpoint would talk about more options. Because I'm always keeping it real. What people aspire to and what people are doing are two different things. There's very, very few people that are doing fully raw. And I don't jump with your hand up and say, me, I'm doing fully raw. Nobody liked that kid in class. Remember that? The kid that had all the answers? What I'm getting at here is that person is the exception. There's not a whole lot of fully raw people out there. Okay, as I always say, if you're doing fully raw and you're thriving on fully raw, do not change anything you're doing. That's great. I'm in a place where I can do this. I'm back to just like I couldn't even imagine any cooked food right now as good as I feel and in the place I am. But not everybody's living where I'm living. Not everybody has the same circumstances. Not everybody has the time. Not everybody can get things at an affordable price. So what I would like to see with more raw vegans is and also too, they could offer more of a progression. If you're not going to make it to fully raw, this. If you're not going to make it to this. And there's different levels, or not levels, but different, kind of different levels of doing this lifestyle. One thing that Jay talks about a lot, and he just keeps it real simple, is, this kind of goes to my overthinking thing. It's always like, well, is this bad, Honestly, I don't eat grains a whole lot. I eat grains sometime when I'm in the States. I eat starches sometimes when I'm in the States. So, and I eat beans sometime when I'm in the States. Now, none of these are part of my staples. None of these are part of my regular diet. They are stuff that I eat, when I do go to the States. But I don't throw any of that stuff under the bus, because basically, if you're even just eating a plant-based lifestyle, you're so far ahead of the rest of the world that right there, that don't get down to the nitpicking. Or I guess what I'm getting at is, if somebody is at that level, definitely don't nitpick on them because they're not doing raw or they're not being fully raw. I mean, I see a ton of people out there that are eating cooked food that are, sorry for you raw vegans, but they're a hell of a lot more healthy than many raw vegans I'm seeing out there. And once again, like I always say, that's not to throw shade on the raw vegan lifestyle. The raw vegan lifestyle you can be fully raw. You can be fully raw no matter where you are. But how many people are going to do that? People are doing fully raw in Canada. People are doing fully raw in cold areas of Europe. People are doing fully raw in the winter in the northern part of the States. but how many are actually doing that? And how many people are just like almost sacrificing their health and just like spinning, like almost having nervous breakdowns trying to do that and not succeeding. So, you know, and it's almost like it's shameful for them. Like they feel like it would be a shame or something embarrassing or something weak to step back and just simply, you know, step back to a different form of doing this of doing a plant-based lifestyle. You know, if you're not, I see people all the time, I'm in groups, I network with people all the time, and they have been trying getting to fully raw vegan for 2 years now, a year and a half, 2 years. Because I know I started getting into some groups like 2 years, 3 years ago. So there's a lot of people that they basically just been yo-yoing, treading water, going back and forth, slipping off the wagon and getting all emotional and gaining the weight and losing the weight, all because raw is their only pursuit in this thing. They've never succeeded in it, but it's the only thing. So I don't see why, you know, and I don't see why people don't do this, and I don't see why more people aren't encouraging, you know, to take a step back or do what works for you in your area. I mean, I always try to use these experiences that I'm in, you know, like recently when I went to the States. And I also try to think like, okay, what if for some reason an opportunity pulled up or whatever, it's just a theoretical exercise. What if I was to move to certain areas? I can't look you straight in the eye or straight in this camera and tell you if I had to move to Canada tomorrow that I would try to be a fully raw vegan. I can't tell you that if I moved to certain places in Europe or if I was in certain places in the United States that I would even be trying to be a fully raw vegan. Because a lot of places, if you watch what folks are doing, even in some of the places where it's tough to be raw vegan, the people that are fully raw vegan are putting a lot of time into their lifestyle, and that's a lot of time that many people with lives going on every day don't have. See, I've got that. I mean, I do my own thing here, you know, I make a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. I'm taking care of a spot. I do a little freelance work here and there. I don't have anybody I'm responsible for, so you know, my life is a lot freer. But there's a lot of people that don't have time to be fooling with food all day. There are people, and then going back to Jay, you know, plant-based athlete. If people are doing certain types of physical activity, like I'm not sure they could get enough calories in. That would be an interesting thing. I should take 3 months and well, if he wanted to, and go just do jujitsu and train his schedule for 3 months and try to do it raw. I got to thinking that's what he talks about a lot. You know, like he's got to get those calories in. He's on the go. He's training. So, you know, he just can't take in the volume of food he would need to take in being fully raw. Plus, he enjoys eating what he eats. Plus, I don't argue with results. I'll never argue with results. I see people that are not even remotely as healthy as him and other people like him that eat cooked food that will rail against him all day. And it's like, well, you know, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking I'd much rather be in the physical shape and in the health that Jay's in as opposed to you at fully raw. So anyhow, it's all about choices, and I think we should give people more choices, and especially, and it's silly, and you know what really kind of just like always annoys me is when another one does one of these, well, I'm no longer fully raw videos, because they've already, and a lot of times if they have bigger presences online, they've already like whipped their little fanboys and girls into this message because a lot of them have preached raw, fully raw, and then they just, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore, which is not a problem. I don't ever fault anybody. Maybe somebody tries raw and they're like, okay, this doesn't work for me, but the fact that you have to do a video or make some big to-do about how I'm not fully raw anymore, yeah, those just kind of always annoy me a little bit. Just threw that in. But yeah, like I think we're doing more of a service to people and reaching a wider audience if we have any presence whatsoever on YouTube, on social media, is to give options in this plant-based lifestyle, and to give people options that are realistic for where they live, how they live, and their circumstances. I mean, it's all good, well and good to see all the YouTubers and talking about how good it is and how easy to do fully raw, but for a lot of people it's not that easy. It all depends on the circumstances. So anyhow, just my opinion, kind of just a rambling video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope you'll come back and watch more videos. Love you guys. Peace.